the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
The Honest Edit Podcast, unpacking the truth about life's messes, one honest conversation at a time. With your host, Scarlett, the no-fluff, get-it-done mindset coach, and Holli, your go-to for all things practical, balancing chaos with compassion.
Y'all, welcome back to the Honest Edit. Today we'll be throwing some tips your way on how to make everything a little bit more manageable and make sure that you're having progress, even if you've got a toddler pulling at your leg or a dog barking in the background or your to-do list is 10,000 miles long.
I feel like you need to look at your priorities, you need to look at your commitments, and most of all, you need to look at your boundaries. Like, how much are you taking on in your normal everyday life?
Yeah.
Because I feel like all of us are I know you and I are definitely overachievers. You know, we want to like power pack our day. But I feel like at that point, the quality of what you're accomplishing is lacking because you're rushing from one thing to the next and you're feeling depleted and you're feeling tired and, you know, it's hard to get going. And then you get a little, like I said, cranky. And then, you know, it's just not present for your family and all those things. So, yeah.
It's like running on a hamster wheel that you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I'm very much about the energy that I'm putting into certain things. And so if I am overcommitting myself and I have too many projects and too many commitments, I'm not focused.
Right.
And that's with my home too. Not only like things outside of the home, but, you know, just sitting down and cleaning up with Max with the toddler or cooking dinner. You can just be scatterbrained and then you are not giving yourself the space and the time you really need to commit. So decluttering really matters, and you really have to sit down and figure out what your priorities are. And I know, Scarlett, you have this like amazing thing that you do in the morning. You do your 5 a.m. wake up, and tell us about what you do to get started to be not cluttered for the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about priorities and my commitments. And, you know, we'll talk about like habits and how to establish systems in like another episode for sure. But to give an overview about that is like I do my schedule the day before. So I know what my commitments are. I can kind of think, man, do I really want to do all of that tomorrow? Because that's a lot. And then, yeah, I time block throughout my day. So I start my day actually with my self-care, because I want to set my day up for success. And at night, like my nights are family night and husband time, and then going to bed super duper early because getting up at 5, it's challenging. And I am a person that eats in an espresso, triple actually. And so in the morning, you know, just as something as simple as, you know, yes, I do my self-care, but I need to eat. I make my breakfast, and I don't want to automatically allow things to pile up. And so aside from like making my bed in the morning, that's huge for me. That's like my first accomplishment, and it makes me feel good. I feel like that sets my day up for success because it's just such an easy win. And I walk in and I go, peace, you know, and that's before I even leave the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I come out to the kitchen, I literally, you know, pull out my toaster, put my toast in, fry my eggs, and then I eat my breakfast. And I really only have 2 to 3 dishes to clean. So instead of this only works, I mean, this works for my lifestyle. I don't have a toddler running around. And, you know, there's other ways if you have a much larger family or a couple kids and you're getting them off to school to deal with this type of situation. But for me, my daughter's 17. She doesn't even have first period in her senior year. And so I basically can just sort of have my first 2 hours to myself. And so I made the commitment to me to just go ahead and wash the freaking dishes. And I just lay them on my drying rack and I don't have to think about it again.
Yeah.
If you're going from room to room to room to room and you're doing different things and you're going back and forth, that's going to eat up time. And so I literally, when I get up in the morning, I'm in my room already. I do all the things in my room. Then I go in the kitchen. I do all the things in the kitchen. And then from there, I can go walk the dog. I can go to the gym. I can come in here and I can work. All of that. So I feel like I already know my commitments for the day. I time block. My first 2 hours is really all about my self-care and what I would like to do prior to starting my workday or, you know, however that looks. And then if it's something that's quick and easy, I just go ahead and do it. I don't want it to pile up. Listen, I don't want to come in at 10 a.m. and I have to do my dishes for breakfast.
Right.
I just don't want that.
Yeah. So one thing that we do with the little one at home is first, my self-care time is at like after bedtime, right? Because I'm going all day. And so sit down, I'll put my blue light glasses on, I'll look at my phone, I'll make sure what my schedule is tomorrow, put anything in my calendar or on the to-do list that like needs to get done that popped up during the day, make sure my appointments are all scheduled. And then I have time to just relax after that. So I don't have to think about the day. I know that it's planned, it's ready to go. I can sleep. And then in the morning, we get going. I've also enlisted the help of my kiddo to do some of the household chores in the morning time. So before he gets in the car for school, he has to take his dishes to the sink. He has to make sure that his Legos are picked up. So we are constantly, and of course, it's not always seamless. It's not always perfect, but we're always trying to do a little tidy after so it doesn't pile up.
Yeah.
And then when it does pile up at the end of the day, we take our little basket, we go around each room, we put our things in there, and then we can drop them off around the house. And my kid's 5, he just turned 5. And so, yes, you can't necessarily do this with a 2-year-old or with a baby in your arms or everything, but we try to do that practical life at home. So he's constantly thinking about his space too. And yes, there's a safe place and we can have toys, but also it's his responsibility to clean up afterwards. And that way, everything is just easier on mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so, we have a space where the shoes go. We have a space where the lunchbox goes when we're walking down the hallway to get in the car. So it's just easy to incorporate the family if you have that ability. So it doesn't all fall on you because, again, you have your boundaries, you have your priorities, and then you don't want to be spending all of your energy, that morning energy, wake up, you're like, yes, I can take on the day. And then you get your kid out the door or you finish your first meeting and you walk into your kitchen and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to clean the house now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. So,
and I think a lot of us feel like kind of in a role of, being abroad and having family that we have to do everything ourselves, and just as I work or whatever. And yeah, everybody's dynamics at home is a little bit different, but I'm sort of going with the social.
Yeah.
But you really don't have to do that. I mean, even after we eat dinner, like it's our family time to clean up together.
Right.
And it's way faster. Now, will somebody put the dish away perfect, like you're saying? Absolutely not. But I feel like just having that team effort, really having that system, like, here's your role. You're going to put away all the dishes. I'm going to do all the washing, and sometimes my daughter's like, I want to do the washing. And I'm like, oh, but she does a great job and she's learning. And that's the point. It's like, do I say every now and then, hey, let's rewash this dish? Yeah, she sometimes does it to me too. And so, because sometimes I get stuck in my head while I'm doing the dishes and I'm like thinking about other things I need to do a to-do list. And right. And then I, forget to get all the oil off or whatever. And she goes, rewash this. And so I do feel like getting the family involved, even when they're super duper young, as young as 5, it is very beneficial. And they feel good. Like kids love to help.
They love to help and they love to feel their accomplishments. I mean, even last night, my kiddo wanted to help cook dinner and just pouring the box of noodles into the boiling water is huge. And there's a book called Hunt, Gather, Parent. And this lady traveled. She was a journalist, I think. And she traveled to all these different families and all these different cultures. And one thing that she always noticed is that everyone in the family was helping without having to be asked.
Sorry.
There were teenage daughters going to grab the dishes. There were little boys taking the trash out or starting the fire or whatnot. And she asked these mothers and fathers, like, how did you teach your kids to do this? And their answer was they started at a young age over and over and over.
Yes.
So every time they would go to wash a piece of clothing, they would take the baby with them and they would show them over. So if you have small children, or even if you have teenagers, if you get them involved at a young age or get them involved every single time, they're eventually going to get all of the dust into the icepan. It takes practice.
It does.
And I noticed, like, since my kiddo started walking and talking and, we had chores or family contributions, yet we have just been disciplined on doing it together every time. And now he knows that this is where my shoes go. And this is where, when my basket gets full of laundry, I go and put it in here. So like, household chores are not a gender role. We cannot, as mothers, cannot do it all. I mean,
Or even, I mean, I know some men that do it all the shopping, all the cooking, all the cleaning, everything. And even though it's not a norm, I mean, you just cannot do it all. I can't work or just fully take care of the house and the kids.
And again, like not everyone has the privilege to have help, right, or to ask for help if you have, aging parents or someone sick in your family. But what we're saying is that if you get up and you're overwhelmed and your brain is so cluttered that you don't know where to start, ask for help. Yes. People are here to help you. There are little ways that you can make a difference, like putting the dishes up before you leave the room, making the bed before you leave the room, or in the morning, making sure you've got everything ready to go. I think so many times we're just moving so fast as just getting hit with the next thing, the next meeting on the calendar, the next to-do thing. And I think for me, if I can just take some time to center my energy around what I want to do and what's important, and holding a boundary. If like, oh, someone asked me to do this, but I don't really think it fits into, what my goals are for this month. Or
I think that centers around the whole, like, say yes to everything. Oh, I feel so obligated. Let me just say yes. And a lot of our clients really, they just say yes to everything. And then they get in trouble. Yeah. And then it's like their day is too much. And then they're too tired to do things at home. And even just something as simple as walking in and hanging your purse on the hook, it's too much. You're exhausted. And so you really got to take a step back and go, you know what? I think it's okay if I create some boundaries and say, I would love to do that, but honestly, I have a business to run. I've got to do this cheer thing with John this week, or whatever your commitments, or use that to say, gosh, I would love to, but
I don't have the energy to do it right now.
Yeah.
Only I fully commit.
I can't fully commit.
It's absolutely okay to say no.
Yeah. And I'm one of those individuals that will quickly be like, that's a great idea. Let's do it. I want to do it. And I had to really take a step back and go, I can't do this. And I literally sometimes have to bite my tongue.
Yeah.
Because I have that knee-jerk reaction to be like, let's do it. I can do this in like 5 minutes. And not have that knee-jerk reaction to overcommitting myself. And that, again, you're not going to be perfect at first and just like all of a sudden stop committing to everything. But if you're just mindful of it, start with being mindful and practice just like not raising your hand, and being the first one to volunteer, or if someone asks you, just actually pause and think about it.
Yeah.
Don't just first commit immediately.
Yeah, you don't have to just immediately say yes, and you don't have to give an excuse as to why you can't.
No.
You can just say, I don't think that's going to fit my schedule. No, thank you. I cannot do that right now. Let me get back to you on a time that would be better for me.
Yeah. Even if you feel like that's the polite way to get out of it, I really, really cannot commit to this at the moment, because I would not be able to give my 120%, or I'd be running on fumes, whatever.
And that's why we are saying, and we want to point out that it's really important to not be cluttered in your mind. So you have your to-do list, you have your priorities, you know what's going on. So you can, when someone asks you for something else, or okay, I've got friends coming over, I'm going to have to tidy up the house. You can make time for that. So if you aren't cluttered in your brain all the time with all the things that are going on, then it's easier for you to know where you can give your energy instead of just always committing. And so that kind of flows into not only, you're being cluttered in your mind and being, overcommitted, but the spaces in your home. So one of the things that I love to do whenever I'm feeling a little overwhelmed is tidy. Shocking. I'm an organizer. Isn't that weird? So what I love to do with my family is we set like a 2-minute or 10-minute timer, and we'll go around the house and just put things back in their home. Everything has a home in my home. And so, if the battery box is out to fit some stuff in a Hot Wheel, then that needs to go back up. But what I do with Max is we make it a game.
Yes.
And it's really easy to do that for your little ones. And as they want to help, they want to make it a game, they want to win. And so we'll just set a timer of, okay, who can put the most Legos away? Or if there's like this spot, who can go through the mail the quickest? And so we'll do a game and make it easy to tidy up that area. And that way mommy's head doesn't hurt as bad. And I have less things to look at, so I can really get focused on what I'm trying to do and what the priorities actually are.
Yeah. And you can make it fun. I put on music when I clean and I can, yes, because that energizes.
Yeah.
You know,
We love to do, after coming home from school. And I mean, I know that we don't have homework yet. Thank all the gods we don't have homework yet. But we like to do it. Okay, let's clean up for 5 minutes and then go cuddle in the hammock or get on a reward. Yeah, it's a reward. And it's good for me too.
And it rewards you because you're decluttering your space. You're spending time with your family, and then you're rewarding yourself even after.
Yeah, I was a popsicle too, guys.
Yes, and it's okay. It's the freaking pops.
It's okay, the popsicle. But it's not about things being perfect, looking perfect in the house. It's about progress.
Yeah.
And so if you can spend a few minutes a day while you're in the task or finishing the task to put things back where they go, put them in the dishwasher, load the dishwasher, throw the stuff in the laundry before you leave for the house. Look at your calendar, make sure you have what, what you have for the morning. If you can do those things and just implement that up throughout the day, stuff won't get piled.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I like to do is that if I know I'm going upstairs and there's crap that needs to go upstairs, I just take it right then with me. Why I don't leave it. I'm not one that, if I left stuff on the stairs, that's my clutter.
Yeah.
And I will walk past that clutter, and while I'm thinking about, I can even be in my office running a business and I think about the clutter on the stairs.
Oh yeah, I do that.
So if I am going from room to room, I just am mindful of, well, let me just grab this and take it with me. I may not do much with it right then and there because you might be in a hurry, you might be leaving, you might be trying to whatever, but at least it gets in the room it needs to go. And then when you're in that room, then you can take care of it if you don't have time right then and there.
I love it. I think that I had the thought and then I forgot it, so you'll have to edit this out.
I think it's cute to keep it in, though. Why might I edit that out? Because, I bet for real life.
That's so real. That is real life. What was I going to say?
I do that all the time. Or you walk in a room and you're like, why the hell did I open this?
Why did they come in here?
I don't remember what I brought stuff with me, but I don't know why I came in this room. But you were so productive because you brought crap in the room with you.
I think that when Max was smaller, I was constantly, literally, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would think, oh, I didn't put that up, or that needs to go there, or we need to go through this box because there's stuff here that doesn't belong. And so when I have been better with, and it's not perfect, I can't do it every time, but when I'm better with my time at night, going through, figuring out what I need to do for the day, make the to-do list, look at my calendar, those things, I'm not waking up stressed out about the things that I didn't do.
Right.
And I think as a mother, and for me, we had Max during COVID. We didn't have any help. I wasn't sleeping. I was breastfeeding all night. I would wake up and I would freak out about, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, but I have to feed this baby. And so the stress that we had, that's just your cortisol spiked.
Yeah.
And so if you can help mitigate that during the day by just having some priorities and making yourself some boundaries, it will really help your overall well-being, and you won't be stressed out all the time. And you can spend that fun time with the kids, and you can focus on the good things. And whenever you're doing family time, you can focus on actually being with family and doing family time.
Right.
And then you're also teaching your kids and leading by design with your family that we can do this together. If we all help out, we can do this together. We're not all stressed out. You're not on an island alone. You can have the things that you want and not be stressed out all the time. You just have to do a little decluttering and a little work on the front end.
Yeah, the prioritizing. And I think you touched on a good point, because I've done the whole, it's amazing when it all quiet down, your mind just I always think about the little chef meme, he's like, yeah, let's not waste me doing all the things in the kitchen. And that's my brain when I'm going to sleep. And I'm like, oh. But I feel like what you're doing, if you don't, give yourself the grace. If you're not getting everything done in your day, it's okay. Lord, I can tell you right now that what's been bothering me in my house is the fan over my bed. I'm sitting there looking at it going, I didn't dust that. I have my cleaning schedule, but I just didn't get to it. Sometimes I'm prioritizing something over dusting the fan, And so that's something you can put into your schedule the next day and just do it. Or, that's not really a priority. In the next couple of days, I'm going to wait till Saturday morning while I do just a little bit more cleaning and just add that in. or whatever it is, and give yourself that grace and not just sit there and stress out that you didn't get that done that day.
Are you the type of person that you feel like you need to write everything down on the to-do list, or can you have like multiple plates moving around?
I mean, you know what it's like. I'm a business owner. You're a business owner. We have family. We have outside social obligations. We're traveling. We're taking on whatever. So yeah, I feel like I always have constant plates up here. But I start with a to-do list, and that's how I finish actually my workday. You know, I don't do it. I don't bring my journal or my to-do list to bed, because for me, I think that I'll just start wanting to do it. So that's my boundary. That's the boundary that works for me, is that I don't leave my home office. I have to sit there and I will not leave until that next day gets cleaned out, you know, and it may not even be like, 12 o'clock, I'm doing this, 1 o'clock, I'm doing that, 3. It's really just, okay, these are the things that I would like to get done tomorrow. And it's in reason.
Right.
I've learned what I could get done. So our next episode, speaking of habit systems and all that, we're going to be diving into the 2-minute rule that we use, our methods, any sort of hacks to create a system. And that's my favorite thing to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Even little changes can make a big difference. Huge passion.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And consistency, really.
It's just practicing every single day. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on The Honest Edit. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes. Bye.